Yeah, the day come. You go to
Ah,
sleep.
yes. So we're getting everything ready, and I almost evenly forgot to charge my phone, which was the most crucial part about it. I had no
Oh
charge,
no.
and I needed the recordings to be good. I was like 5% battery. Uh, Forgot
Oh
to
no.
bring myself a wire. I literally panicked, ran all the way back home just to get a wire to charge my phone. Good start, good start. And
Oh no.
so I had two bunch of gifts actually. So I had a bunch that were homemade to one batch, and the other batch with the two Chloes. There's actually two Chloes. The two Chloes, one with Megan and Toma. I bought them
Mhm.
some Among Us plushies, and turned out it was my luck because I found one of them that had black cat ears on top of it, like a hat. I found it really cute. Like, oh hey, like the panther black ears. Like, oh, I need this. And especially because it was the bigger one of all four of them, I was like, okay, now it's gonna be like, oh, he's picky, nah, nah, nah. He has a
Oh.
favorite, so he's gonna be the bigger picker because of of his kid. No, 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 no. I'm not the one buying the
Oh.
gifts. It's the robots. All right. So fast forward, the little kids from 215 comes by. I let them know that okay, it's time to open your gifts. So they opened the gifts and they were like all over the place. They couldn't contain their excitement. And
Oh.
I couldn't be happier for them because it's the only time of the year. It's only one time, and by then I was just trying to get all the rigs ready and my shenanigan storytelling, I guess. So basically,
Yeah.
I'll try to make it clear. So I have a telepathy technique to communicate with them. If by them I mean my in quote kids, Luna and everybody else. But basically, I have a telekinesis gadget in my ear that they can't see, but I do have one. And what I told them beforehand is I have a gadget brought by Rose, which is a mechanic person. She built a gadget so they could hear a portion of what they would like to say in time in need. And at first,
Mhm.
they had a bit of complicated like process to understand. Like, okay, how does that work? I'm trying to explain them forward that in order you need a strong bond. So by strong bond, let's say, perfect example, like basically you and me. We've known for years. We're really close. And
Mhm.
we're basically counting ourselves as family, even though we're not blood related.
Yeah.
Tongue twister. Um, so basically, I told them you need a strong bond connection and you need eye contact because basically when you talk to a person, you make eye contact. So
Mhm.
then I explained that and then I had some gifts on my own offered. Well, I made the gifts and anonymous from my own kids, so basically from me to me, basically, but and I bought myself Bowser plushie, a Chomp plushie, and a Dry Bowser plushie with posters to decorate my walls, and a lava lamp. Actually, yeah, a lava lamp. And at first they were like, "What the hell did they get you for Christmas?" And I like, I don't know. Even though I'm so eager to open those plushies because I really wanted them in my collection. So, and I wasn't expecting, but the texture was so smooth, like it was so fluffy. Okay, so fast forward when the bigger kids come by, because Mr. Santa was about to come as well at the same time. I was like, nah, 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 nah. They're gonna have their gifts. They're gonna get the time worth. So
I will give you
I basically
shelter.
tell them, all right. So do you all want the bonus gifts first, or you want the actual gifts first? And they're all like, nah, nah. Skip the bonus for last. What do you got for us? Like, all right. So basically, to make them like understand simply, the Among Us plushies were all in different colors. So I'll write their names with the right colored pattern Among Us plushie. So basically, if one of them's like the red one with Toma's name, so Toma gets the red plushie. You get it?
Yeah.
Right? So they're like, all right, can we open the box? I felt sorry for that box, by the way, because it got it got absolutely demolished. But the reaction afterwards was so good. They were like, "Oh my gosh!" I had to laugh. I couldn't hold it. It was perfect.
Oh.
But then came forward for your part of the, your part of the end, and I basically told them there's still the bonus gifts, so y'all ready for that one? You're like, yeah, yeah. So I'm grateful they didn't know the what is it called? The brand? What's the word of that? So basically, you have some type of shirts, some types of shoes. So
Yeah,
you
it's a
have like
brand.
Under Armour. I don't know if American Eagle. I don't know if you recognize those marks.
Yes.
But it was for my wireless headset Black, which is Skull Candy. That's the brand of it. Well, the where it's built, and they didn't recognize the symbol, so they were asking why a skull. So basically, if any stranger would take the headset, it would think it's toxic because of the skull. It's not supposed to be touched or whatever. It's contagious. But I'm
Oh,
just messing
yeah.
with them basically. So. I said so before. I forgot to explain that one as well. So, in order for them to get the extra gift, I basically told them, okay, so we're gonna have a rock paper scissors to make it fair. So we're gonna know which one is gonna go first, second, third, and fourth. And
Mhm.
it was literally destiny because Chloe ended up winning first, obviously. and then Megan, uh, like surprisingly enough, she had to win second, obviously, and Toma last, cause
Oh
he's
no.
Toma. He lost his shit completely. Started yelling. "Ah!" I could. Okay, so. When it came to that day, I was playing Toma. You're gonna be last because you lost fair and square. I was like, I can't take it. Ah! So, alright.
Oh.
I give Chloe's headset, and I explain to her how this is gonna work, and I didn't want to show them the phone because it was like looking at Messenger with the recordings, but they didn't ask, So I was just hiding the phone away on my back. So it was like, Chloe, you ready? You have to make eye contact. I was like, alright, alright. The way I could not hold. I wanted to literally look her dead in the eyes. I couldn't. I wish I had recording of that because I could not imagine she would react like that. At first, as soon as I pressed the play button, she literally like a little panic jump, like what? Because she already had that same gift as before, She's like, you already had a recording of her like last year for your birthday, right? So why are you surprised now? It's like, did she forget how she sounded like? But the way you made it sound, she was, she couldn't hold the joy. I wish you could have seen her. Oh, like the way you put it, the joy in that voice made it so like worth for her. Cause oh man, like she could not put anything else than a smile after the recording. Seriously. And
Oh.
when the thing was ended, she was so shocked, and she was like, she looked at me like slowly, like turning her head, like wow, and she went, wow, that's something else.
Really? Oh, that's so cute.
I was like,
Glad she
and
liked it.
and what she said, can I hear it a second time? Oh no! I was like,
Oh.
Megan has to pass. That's her turn now. It's like, no!
Oh, that's
but
adorable,
but
man.
but then Megan's turn next. Oh, don't get me started. It's even. Oh, I'm saying it. It's been worse, but better at the same time. So. So it's like same thing, Megan. You have to have eye contact, you know. So you ready? So like, yeah, yeah. I pressed the button, and I remember when I said, I tried to make it sound like a Zarya type of voice. I couldn't distinguish which one was yours, Zarya. Like. Like, you tried to make. Oh, I wanted to giggle so bad, but like I knew it was hard on your end, cause Jesus, I should have said a deep
Yeah.
voice, should have said a lightly voice. So that's my bad on that end. But she had like, oh, she couldn't hold herself. She was like, okay. It's just she couldn't find words because it was that much for her. But then I also said to the little Chloe, so there's tall Chloe and little Chloe. So I told the little Chloe that you could also hear the recording, because you know it could mean it's basically the same person that the message could be. So it could address it to you as well, but it's up to you if you want to hear it. But she was so scared, like she was like, I'm having none of it. Like I really wanted to like let her hear it because it was so worth it. And by the end of it, she did end up listening to it, but all the way like almost right before she ended up leaving. But she she couldn't find words because she's like a little shy one, but she was stunned. Like the look on her face told everything. But when it came to Toma, oh boy, here we go. So I told Toma, all right, get ready. I'll start the gadget. All right. As soon as I pressed start, the jaw dropped on the floor. It was absolutely speechless. I just couldn't. I was like, Toma, you alright? The eyes, it was literally like a cartoon. The eyes was about to bust out of his No! And the way you made it as well, I didn't wrote specifically try to be like shy or a little nervous. You did absolutely everything on point, cause you know Kathy, well slash Wavern, whatever. She's someone that's never been around electronics. She's been mostly alone. You know, just like basically a wanderer. And so made it sound like that was on top of just perfection, really. And a little bit fast forward, everybody else wanted to know how each one of them sounded like, and I try to cheat the system to put their ears right next to the headphone when I was playing the recording. Like that's not how it works. It's kind of cheating. You can't do that. But I said, fuck it, you know, because it's something that doesn't come every day, basically, you know. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to put the headset, but there still has to get a strong connection and eye contact. So if it does work, well, good. If it doesn't, well, too bad, you know. And I ended up making the thing that everything works a-okay, you know. But
Mhm.
they all sounded with the same reaction, like, why is Luna so joyful? That's not fair. Kathy's more like shy. What? I fucking I. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I was not expecting. So Big Chloe was telling me a bit before she had to leave. She said, "I'm doing something, but don't come look for it." I'm always the one that I'm like, nah, I'm still gonna do it. You know, I'm still trying to be the one that's like bothering the situation just to be the goofball of the gang. But I just didn't bother it, so I just let it slide. So when it came to preparing my stuff to leave, I noticed Luna was actually holding a piece of paper, and I was telling my co-helper, what, what was that? Was always there a sheet of paper for some reason, and she didn't notice because you know she wasn't paying attention to it. But I took the paper and I told her, hey, take a good look at this. She took the time to say thank you, Luna, for being the best one ever. Love you. I was about to cry. I
Oh.
couldn't. Oh, it was too much. Oh my
Wow,
goodness.
that's like really fucking sweet.
Oh my god. I
That's
just,
actually sick though.
oh, I just couldn't. Oh my goodness. But then Tyler and Oliver was like, "Hey, when is our turn?" I was like,
Oh
you,
no.
because one of them's Canadian and the other one is Japanese as well. Like, I don't think you understand how hard it is to ask of them, you know? Yeah, yeah, I just,
Oh
yeah.
no.
So, yeah, that's how it went, basically.
uh,
I just wish
I'm
I
glad
had that
it's
on
like
tape.
most of it was good, you know. I kind of
Yeah,
knew
yes.
the Russian one was like a flop, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
well,
maybe
I
flop.
tried, but
That's on my
yeah.
end. I should have said Russian, but a slightly deeper voice than Luna's. Basically, basically your tone right now. Like, it's not deep, it's not too light. Cause Luna was like, I wouldn't say extra light, but it was like to the Tracer light voice, you know, basically. And yours is basically like, cause basically she's Russian, but doesn't mean technically like she's already with a deep voice. It's just that she's so used to like having I'd say like traumatized situations, you know, that her unfazed reactions are like basically what she ends up sounding like in the end, you know, unless I made that too
Mm.
complicated, but it's basically like that. And Kathy's like the Mewtwo of experiments, basically, and being always alone, basically, because she wants to find out the purpose, basically, of why she's being created, but she's not the one that's trying to look like a monster, you know. She's just trying to make a living and like put a name up to herself, basically. But I just I wish I could save those. I'm probably gonna end up putting them on DS tape recordings. So I can save those because that was just too precious. Like, oh my goodness. Like that's the thing. Also written in quote precisely that in Luna for that in quote, this might be the last year we are together. Basically, our timeline and their timeline is doubled. So let's say today we finish the day. For them, it's like almost 3.5 days. So for them right now, it's basically 2023 right now, and they're like up in March or April, and we're still
Mm.
in December, you know. So it's like double the time basically. And
Ah,
so
that
for
makes
her,
sense.
it's her last year, but next year it's gonna be Chloe's. So that's why I try to come up with um, like a good, happy kind of end of the quote basically. And Megan, just because they're literally acting like Luna and Aura, they're both the kind of jealous type. Like if one gets too much fun, the other one's just gonna get railed by the other one, just trying to have a lot of fun here and there. Like you know. Like if one gets cuddly, the other one has to get cuddly as well, you know. And Toma,
Yeah.
the fact that he's being looked down upon because of his intention towards other guys, well, attractiveness basically, because he's gay. But that's why I came up with this the actual conclusion as well that um that you know even though times are hard, you know, there's always an up, there's always like a positive side somewhere. You just have to, you know, work for it, and it'll be all worth it in the end, basically. That's why I try to not make it as depressive, but you know, positive.
Yeah.
So that's basically everything wrapped up, I think.
Oh, that's good. I mean, good thing it was not like a total, you know, disaster or anything. That
No,
would have
no,
been
no, no, no,
awful.
no, no, no. I I
That was good.
I almost double checked everything to check in
Lewis.
case that everything was gonna work. Like everything was gonna work fine in the end, you know.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Oh man.